Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another Good Morning Grief Devotion. It's your boy, Pastor Corey Allen Duncan Sr. Look, so happy, so excited to come to you today, lead you a very special way in today's Good Morning Grief Devotion. Sorry for the delay. Our other devotion ran over, and so we are just a little bit late coming on. Nevertheless, we are here. I want to let you know that this is the daily grief devotion that is strategically designed to help you to navigate through your grief one day at a time. What is grief? I'm so glad you asked. Grief, my brothers and sisters, it is the natural, normal, and necessary response to loss, change, and transition that results in the expressions of feelings and emotions. That grief is what you feel on the inside. Mourning is how you reveal it on the outside. Therefore, we don't suppress it, but we express it. We don't ignore it, but we explore it. We don't conceal it, but we reveal it. We don't lock it up, but we let it out. And that's why we shout good morning, because morning is a good thing. And I'm so glad that you are here today as we lead you in a very special way through today's Good Morning Grief Devotion. Today, my brothers and sisters, is day 269. This message is going to be right on time. We're talking about grief work is soul work. Grief work is soul work. What you talking about? Let's talk about it, y'all. Nourishing my grieving soul is a matter of surrendering to the mystery of grief. Nourishing my grieving soul is a matter of surrendering to the mystery of my grief. I don't know if you've ever really looked at that word nourishing, right? When you think of nourishing, we often think of feeding our bodies. Bless this food we're about to receive. Allow to nourish our bodies for Christ's sake. That in order for my body to function, it needs nourishment. So I'm going to feed it, even if you're in a hospital, right? Um, that a lot of times they still had to feed you. They had to nourish. They had to give your body nourishment, right? Sometimes they feed you through a tube because your body still needs these nutrients, this nourishment in order to function properly, right? So we understand the concept of nourishing our bodies. Have you ever thought about the power or the importance of nourishing your grieving soul, right? Nourishing your grieving soul needs nourishment for what you're dealing with, for what you're going through. It is important that you nourish your grieving. So, have you been nourishing your grieving soul? How do you nourish your grieving soul? Right. And this is the thing. We can keep running with that illustration, with that metaphor, because a lot of us, we may be malnutritioned when it comes to grief, right? Because either we're not nourishing it at all, or we're trying or attempting to nourish it with the wrong things, right? Because when you nourish it with these empty calories, when you nourish your grieving soul with things that are detrimental versus things being instrumental, it's not healthy for you, right? When you nourish with numbing, uh, uh, anesthetizing type things, right? When you nourish it with that type of stuff, right? That I'm just going to drink my problems away. I'm going to shop my problems away. I'm going to sex my problems away. That I'm going to eat my problems away. When you try to nourish your grieving soul, right, with things that are detrimental and things that are not beneficial and things that are not instrumental, you end up staying stuck and stagnant where you are. It is important that you understand, number one, that you have to nourish your grieving soul. Number two, that you got to nourish your grieving soul with the right things, right? So let's check this out. Let's check this out. Nourishing my grieving soul is a matter of surrendering to the mystery of grief, right? I also nourish my soul by devoting time and attention to whatever gives my life richness and purpose. You got to surrender to the mystery of grief. Grief is all over the place, right? It's a mystery. It's not a 1-2 step. It's not linear. It's not ABC type of process. It's a mystery. It's mental. It's emotional. It's spiritual. It's physical. It's a mystery. It's just ah. But when you surrender yourself to that, when you have the understanding That grief is all of it affects all of these different areas of my life. When you surrender yourself to the mystery and the process, right? That's when you can really start your grief journey, right? So you understand the power and the importance of nourishing my grieving soul. My grieving soul needs to be nourished because I'm hurt. I need to be healed. I'm in pain. I'm trying to process. I'm going through all of this stuff. I'm going to surrender to the mystery of this grief because it just comes out of nowhere. These waves hit me. And one day it's physical, and one day it's mental, it's emotional, it's spiritual. I'm all over the place, right? I surrender to this process. I surrender to the mystery of grief. I also nourish my soul by devoting time and attention to whatever gives my life richness and purpose, by trying to develop my potentials, by trying to give back, by having and expressing gratitude, by helping others, by living my life on purpose. These are things that will nourish your grieving soul, right? Here's the key to it. Whatever gives my life richness and purpose, whatever is going to give your life richness and purpose. I'm talking about mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. What gives your life richness and purpose, right? Mentally, what's going to give your life richness and purpose? What do you need to do mentally to nourish your grieving soul? What's going to give your life richness and purpose, right? Emotionally, what's going to give your life richness and purpose? Showing up for the grief devotions, right? Mentally and emotionally, meeting with a counselor, being able to process, meeting with a therapist, going through that, right? Reading a book, going for a walk, laying out on the beach. Is that whatever's going to give your life richness and purpose as you navigate through this season? Give it back. Is it a scholarship fund in the name of the person that died? I don't know what it is, but what's going to give your life richness and purpose mentally, emotionally, spiritually? I know I need to pray. I'm not going to fall into the trap of the enemy. This is based off our 7 a.m. devotion. I'm not going to fall into that trap. I'm not going to resent or rebel or resist. Now, going to church, listening to this good gospel music, being fed in this particular way, what's going to give your life richness and purpose, right? Going for a walk, right? Picking up some exercise classes, some Pilates, doing some strength training, a boxing class so I can punch some of this aggression out, going doing 10,000 steps a day. I don't know. I'm asking you, what's going to give your life richness and purpose, right? This is how you navigate through this process. This is how you begin to understand the power and the importance of nourishing your grieving soul. Nourishing your grieving soul. And so I love the examples that he gives, but also ask yourself, what's going to give my life richness and purpose? Trying to develop your potentials, right? I'm gonna develop my potentials. Trying to give back, I'm gonna give back. That's what I did. That's what gave my life richness and purpose. I'm gonna give back. When my father died, I said, instead of sitting at home on Father's Day and crying my eyes out, I'm gonna throw a conference for young men and pour my heart out. I'm gonna teach them the principles my father taught me. And I did. And it was 150 to 200 young men that came, and we had sessions and we had lessons and all of this stuff, right? It gave my life richness, gave my life purpose. When my sister died, a scholarship fund in her name, I started motivational speaking, started going to schools, telling everybody about my sister and what happened and the power and the importance of education. It gave my life richness and purpose. And a lot of the relationships and connections and the things that I do even today, it stemmed from the things that I did in grief that gave my life richness and purpose. What's going to give your life richness and purpose? And this is why you do it, because it's nourishing your grieving soul. It's not going to bring them back. It's not going, the pain, you still got to deal with that. You still got to go through the process. I'm not ignoring it and I'm doing this in lieu of really doing the work of grief. And so I'm trying to do this instead. No, I'm doing both. I'm doing the work, and this is part of the work, right? Nourishing my grieving soul. What's going to give your life richness? What's going to give your life purpose? Giving back, right? By having expressing gratitude. We talked about that yesterday. We talked about the gratitude journal. We talked about the importance of starting your day off with gratitude. We talked about joked just one little thing, right? That was a lady who lost her son, and she was so deep into her grief that she just said, if I can just think of one thing every single day to help pull myself out of the clutches of grief. If I can just think of one little thing, and she started this whole movement, Jolt, just one little thing. She began to heal her grief with gratitude because even in the situation she was in, the pain that she was facing, she realized I still had some things to be thankful for and grateful for. Just one little thing. She began to jolt, right? It's important for us to know this by having and expressing gratitude, by helping others, by living my life on purpose. The question becomes, in order for you to nourish your grieving soul, what's going to give your life richness and purpose? What is going to give your life richness and purpose? Here it is. I work to nourish my transforming soul. I work to nourish my transforming soul. You got to continue to work to nourish your transforming soul physically. Drink you some water, go for a walk, do some type of physical activity mentally. Do something that's peaceful, reading a book, seeing a counselor, a therapist, emotionally, getting into a grief group, doing all of these things spiritually, staying connected to God, going, you gotta work to nourish your transforming soul. It is of the utmost importance, y'all. Final thought, circumstances come and go, but my soul is forever. Circumstances come and go, but my soul is forever. It's through nourishing your transforming your grieving soul, right? Are you able to navigate through the process? Through nourishing it, it enables you, it helps you to be able to navigate through the process. If you got questions, drop them below. Today, my brothers and sisters, is day 269. I pray this message was right on time. Grief is soul work. Grief work is soul work. Good morning to each and every one of you. I appreciate y'all joining us on today. Hope and pray in a very special way that you continue to work to nourish your grieving soul as you navigate through this thing called grief, right? Nourish it. When I think of nourishing, I think of, like I said, your body needs nourishment to exist. Plants, they need water, they need sunlight, they need to be nourished. I just bought me another plant last night, right? I'm starting my plant journey, my plant life. They need nourishment. What are you doing to water? What are you doing to water yourself? What are you doing to nourish your soul? Right? What are you doing to nourish it? What are you doing to nourish it? This is so on point. I find myself procrastinating all the time. I tell myself every day I'm going to get out the house. I just can't find the strength to move from day to day. So I'm going to see doctor due to no energy. Absolutely. Thank you. This is a very important point. Thank you, Alicia. Very important point. Yeah, I need to. What do I need to do to nourish my grief? I need to go see a doctor. Because I need to get out the house when I'm having a hard time. I don't have any energy. Let me go see. This is physically. When I tell y'all grief is mental, it's emotional, it's spiritual, it's physical. It is physical. Grief can take a toll on your body. It can take a toll on so many different aspects of your life. And you got to minister. You got to nourish every single every single aspect. You got to nourish it. You just can't do stuff physically and you ignore the other stuff. You just can't do stuff spiritually. This is how I'm going to get through my grief. I'm just going to pray. I'm just going to seek the Lord. So you're doing that spiritually, but you're not doing anything physically or mentally or emotionally. No, it's not either or, it's both and. So across the board, what do I need to do? So this is so very important. Yes, go see your primary care physician. I'm grieving, and tell them I'm grieving. Don't just point out the physical. Say, yo, I'm grieving. I don't have any energy, right? But I'm telling you, and I seen something that's so very important. It said everything that you need. Um, um, water, air. What was it? It said everything that you need. I wish I had the visual. Air is the breath of life. Water is the drink of life. Soil is the food of life. It was saying everything you need to heal you is, um, man, I can't find it. Um, life, water, air. What was it? Sun. It was some type of post. It said everything that you need to heal yourself was food, water, air, sunlight, but it was something else because I don't think food was part of it. I can't find it. I'm trying to find it. I can't. But it was just talking about just some of the basic things that we need that will do so good, and it's natural, right? The things that we need are natural, like sun. Sun gives you vitamin D. The importance of getting out in the sun, right? The importance of just being out in the sun. Um, um, Water, the importance of drinking water, right? You need water. So, water, it does so many things for your organs, right? For your mind, for your body in general. It needs water and able to be able to process everything and function fully. Air, the importance of getting air, right? And you can get those three things in one. You go for a walk. You know, you can get the sun to hit you, you getting some air, and you can drink some water while you're doing it. And I think it was two other things, just talking about how nature can help us and can heal us, right? So it's so very important. It's coming on my husband's 2nd year anniversary in 1 week. I got to get it together. We gonna 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 get it together. Y'all pray for Alicia. Y'all pray for Katina. Her grandmother's homegoing celebration is Saturday. So y'all pray for Katina. Y'all pray for Alicia's 2nd year coming up. Pray for Felicia Henderson. She just lost her brother on Monday. So pray for her as well. But we got it and we gonna get it. So y'all continue to hang on, hold on. Look, nourish your grieving soul. Nourish your grieving soul. Nourish it with things that are essential that are going to be beneficial to you and your life. Nourish it. I love y'all with the love of the Lord. I'm rooting for y'all. I'm praying for y'all. We gonna make it in Jesus' name. Come on, let's go.